Welcome to Muskegon Rising, a community service project of the Muskegon Rotary Club. Our purpose is to create lasting positive change. We've been doing that here since 1916. So, let's get started.
Hello, I'm Aaron Mikey, your host for today's Muskegon Rising podcast. Today I'm here with Michelle Harris, the owner of The Deck, Pints and Quarts, and Harris Hospitality. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you for having me.
Pere Marquette Beach is well known for its sand. In some cases, it's free sand from property owners across from the beach. Walking the breakwall during beautiful West Michigan sunsets, hosting diverse events like Burning Foot and the Muskegon Rescue Mission's Foreshore Obstacle Run. The beach also hosts one of the most popular food establishments in West Michigan, drawing customers from all over the United States, including hosting the University of Michigan football team. The Deck has become a hot spot for locals and tourists. Michelle, how did The Deck come to fruition?
Well, we're going into our 10th season this year. So we, we're just, it came to that they were asking for bids for that location. It was a few things before, Captain Jack's, all those other places. And they were just looking, but had been shut down for a few years. And they were looking for people to take it on and bring it back to life. So we went to the city commission and kind of just gave them our ideas and what we're looking to do. And they gave us the approval to do it. And then just went from there.
And you've really done it.
Yeah, we have.
It's quite an amazing spot. And it has grown so significantly. I moved to Muskegon in late 2017. Remember going there, and it was just a really small establishment. How did you make it so large?
Well, obviously it took 10 years to get to where we're at, but, we just saw the demand for it. We had the small area, the original deck that we had, and we were always on a wait. We were always busy. We were turning customers away. We couldn't, live music was just becoming too much up in the old part, the deck area. So we have just came up with, solutions to the problem. So, that's when we did the first expansion over at the deck and moved the music and the stage down below. And then, again, it just kept growing and growing and growing, and we needed another expansion. So then we moved the stage closer to the pier and then added another bar down there with some, seating up top, different deck areas and some swings and stuff to be able to, accommodate everybody. So we kind of just went with, the demand of what, Muskegon and people that are vacationing here, needed from us.
That's amazing. So staffing is an issue for everyone across West Michigan and Michigan in general. How many staff do you employ during peak times?
Well, during the summer, we have about 300 on staff. Any given shift, we have well over 100. And we have a lot of different departments at the deck. We have servers, hostesses, food runners, expos, to-go kitchen, takeout window, merchandise, bartenders, bussers. So there's a lot of kitchen, line cooks, dishwashers. So there's a lot of different departments that we have, at the deck to make it successful. You just have to have a huge staff.
So how do you recruit those staff members?
Well, we actually, we do shut down Pints and Quarts just to help because it's so busy there that it's nice for us to keep our whole upper management together and without, it's just nice that we're all together. And a lot of kids come home from college. So it's a perfect summer job for kids who are just looking, for a quick summer job. And a lot of, kids who it's their first time ever having a job. We have a lot of 14-year-olds that work for bussers and stuff like that. So, it's just good for kids. And then they work 1 year and then they keep coming back every year. And then the bussers will turn into expos and then they'll turn into hostesses. And then when they turn 18, they'll turn into servers. So, the same with the young kids who, some of them are food runners who start out at 16 years old. And by the time they're going into college, they come home and they want to cook or they want to, so if I get them for 1 year and they like it, I usually have them for a good 5 to 6, 7 years, for the majority of them, they come back every year.
That's amazing. It really speaks to your leadership. My family and I go to the deck too often, probably. You wouldn't say that. But I always see you out working. When I'm there, Michelle is out on the deck and walking around, and I usually try not to bother you because I see how busy it is. So it just speaks to your leadership. Several of my neighbors have worked for you, and they just glow about you. What's your secret?
Well, thank you. And I guess my viewpoint has always been with owning a business, and especially a restaurant business, because, it is a hard business, but I have always believed in like, if I didn't have my staff, I wouldn't have the deck, And so my staff, all the way from dishwashers to bussers, are the most important part of our success, because like I said, without them, we don't have Harris Hospitality. We don't have Pints and Courts. We don't have the deck, And if I can it's my job to make sure that my staff is happy. It's the staff's job to make sure that the guests are happy. And if I give them all the tools to be successful and all the tools to be happy in their job and want to work for me year after year, it makes my job in the long run easier, because I'm not training people over and over again. And it just makes the guest experience that much better, So my husband and I just always live by the rule that, we just take care of our staff and then they take care of the rest, so we kind of just live by that.
I absolutely love that philosophy. I see that at work all the time. As a leader, my job is to make sure you have the tools to get your work done.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the popular food items on the deck's menu?
Dirty South nachos are probably our most popular appetizer.
My favorite.
And then, we, make our own, everything at the deck is homemade. We bring all our meats in fresh. Everything's processed there. It's, seasoned there. It's smoked there. We make our own sauces, our own dressings. Everything at the deck is homemade except for the French fries that we throw in the deep fryer. So we do have, a lot of, people just love, because they can tell it's homemade, So I think that, speaks volumes for how busy we are. And I think a lot of people love like the meat and threes. And, we have really good salads as well, too, which, some people like to come eat salads. So I just think, around the whole aspect of things, just a little bit of everything people like.
Yeah, shout out to my neighbor, Owen McCarthy, works there.
Oh, yeah.
And he turned us on to the Dirty South nachos. That's all we order.
Yeah, they're good.
so amazing.
Yeah.
We have probably 100 of your cups at our home.
Mm-hmm.
My kids love the version drinks. Now you're giving them the buckets, which they come home all sugared up.
Yeah.
What type of drinks do you serve, and what are your most popular drinks there?
Well, our most popular drinks are our frozen drinks. Our most popular one, I believe, is the pina colada. But then we also, have strawberry daiquiris. We do, margaritas. We home make our, and we, make our own mixes. All of our mixes are made from scratch, and we use Pints as like our commissary kitchen. So they make all of our, drink mixes and everything like that, and, ship them down to us. And, like any given Saturday, we could go through like 35-gallon Cambros of like margarita mix and stuff. So you kind of just have to have a lot on hand. And I think that, our frozen drinks are definitely our most popular.
I will say, as many times as I've been there, you've never ran out of anything.
Yes,
which
we
is
try
really
not
awesome.
to.
So the sunsets are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That really draws people in. But you have opened earlier and started closing later.
Yeah.
What have you done? What investments did you make to make that happen? Because it gets pretty brutal out there. Even during warm summer days, the weather changes.
Yeah, and we put in a pergola system a few years ago. So, that's like a permanent awning structure, and it has like wind shade, like things that you can go up and down, so you can cover the sun if you want, or if it rains, you can cover it. And then just at the end of this season, we added wind shades, because the wind down there tends to get pretty brutal, and it is really kind of, guests don't want to sit in certain locations because it's too windy, and then it just gets to be kind of, it's really hard to manage that when you're, trying to get in a bunch of guests through. So we invested in some wind shades, which we haven't used those a ton because, like I said, it was towards the end of the season, but I'm really looking forward to getting to use those this year.
What I love about the deck as well, and it brings me back to, I grew up in mid-Michigan, and you have a crest pontoon on the beach. Mm-hmm. And those are made in Owasso, Michigan.
Yeah.
Those don't know. I worked in Owasso for a while with the college, and that was just my first experience. Like, oh my gosh, this is really amazing.
Yeah.
And you set people on that pontoon.
Yes.
Do you have special requests when they say,
yeah.
I want to sit on the pontoon?
Yeah, especially the little kids. They always want to sit on the boats and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So we talked a little bit about the growth of the deck. How do you, other than demand, it is so creative, swings and stairs, and it all interconnects. Who do you engage with to plan that?
Well, my husband and I kind of just had been mulling. My husband's very creative, and he's very think outside the box kind of guy. So he kind of started like with this idea of like the bridges and stuff like that and the shipping containers. And then we have a very creative team as well. And then we kind of just take it to the next level. Like we give ideas of what we're thinking. And then our team kind of just says, okay, well, if we did this, what if we did this? And if we did this, what if we did that? You know, so I think it was just a collaboration between our whole team and kind of what we're thinking. And, you know, working there without things, you kind of get to understand what you need to be successful and what you need efficiency-wise to make it, you know, easier for the staff, easier for us, and better for the guests as well, too.
That's amazing. So the University of Michigan football team shows up a couple summers ago. I just happened to be down there. My kids, of course, Jim Harbaugh walked right in front of me. I had no clue. How did that happen?
Well, they were supposed to go to Grand Haven originally. And I don't know, Grand Haven, it just didn't work out with Grand Haven. So a couple of the coaches came at the end of the summer or the beginning of the summer when we first opened up, and they were just looking for, you know, a location, and they wanted to tour the location and whatnot. So they did a tour, and, you know, I didn't think anything of it. And I was like, okay, well, you know, just reach out if you're thinking about coming out. And then, you know, it all just happened so fast, and they came and just had a good time. It was a lot of fun.
And it could be said that the deck food led them to the national championship, right? When I was there, I was so impressed by their character, of their players and their coaches. Mm-hmm. I walked through, and Harbaugh was in socializing with everybody, signing every autograph. Their players were playing volleyball out with local kids. Yeah. And one of the coaches shook my hand and said, "Thank you for having us." Yeah. I mean, they were so gracious for you.
They were very respectful and very, like you said, gracious, and just, I don't know, it was just an overall great time. It was amazing.
So Pints and Quarts is celebrating this year?
20
How many
years?
20 years, right? Mm-hmm. And you said you closed that during the summer, which is a bummer because I live close by, but then I can go to the beach. Yeah. It's just too busy?
Yeah, the deck is just too busy. You know, and like I said earlier, we just want to have our whole team together. And we were open, you know, we did keep Pints open for a while, and then it was just the deck grew and grew and grew, and our staff was just getting spread thin. And, you know, the Pints is a little bit slower in the summertime anyway, so it's nice to be able to use Pints, like I said, as a commissary kitchen to help us with prep and everything like that, to get everything down to the deck and stuff like that. So, you know, as much as I would like to keep Pints open all year, you know, it's just the logistics of it all is just, you know, the back of the house, we have a core group of guys, and we maybe hire, you know, 4 or 5 guys who come home for college, you know. But in order to run that place, you know, the way we want it ran and how we need to have it ran, it's just better to have our top guys at the deck.
Makes sense. And you're a perfectionist. You want it to be perfect, right?
And I don't want to be stressed out doing it.
Well, you want to have fun.
Yes, yeah.
And that's probably why all of these young college and high school kids want to come work with you. You're having fun. Yeah. They're working really hard, I think.
They are.
Hearing you talk, I talk to young kids all the time. It gives me hope that they want to come work for you because it's not easy.
No, and I think, you know, this year I noticed a lot more that kids want to work more. You know, it's like even my bussers who are 14 who don't really need to work, but maybe their parents want them to work, or they want to have like a little bit of extra spending money, you know. But on like rainy days or something, if I call them off, then like, no, I really want to come to work. I don't want to get called off. I don't want to do this. And, you know, I'm like, have seen like, especially with like back of the house kitchen guys too, they just think everyone just wants to work now more than I think they had in the past. But so I think we're on the upturn of it all. So
I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Music, live music, 7 days a week, all summer long. Yeah. How did you pull that off?
Well, we have Ira as our sound guy, and he, my husband used to do the bookings for all the live music, and we work with Jared out of Grand Rapids. He's a booking agent. So he books about 90% of our band schedule with Ira, our sound guy. And so they kind of tackle it together, and they go, you know, find new talent and, you know, get the people we like back and all that stuff. So they're responsible for all that stuff.
And it's great music. I laugh because I'm not going down there to dance. People are in the sand dancing. It's got to be a terrible workout.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So what else would you like to say about the deck or Pints and Quarts or Harris Hospitality as we wrap up?
I just think, you know, we appreciate all of Muskegon. And, you know, I think Muskegon is becoming more of a tourist town. I think we're getting we take, phone numbers for reservations. And I talk to a lot of people down at the deck, and, a lot of people are traveling here for vacation. And, we're just really grateful for Muskegon and, all the opportunities it's given us to raise my family here and have a successful business, and being able to employ people who have, and which allows them to have families and jobs and houses. And, so that's just, I'm really thankful for that. And, I just am always thankful for the people in Muskegon who support us.
Well, thank you, Michelle.
Yeah.
You have a great business.
Thank you.
Are keeping our young kids local.
Yeah.
You're providing a great service, and you're bringing people from all over to Muskegon, and that's what we want.
Yeah, I agree.
So thank you so much for participating in Muskegon Rising.
Well, thanks for having me.